Okay, so in the second tutorial, we're going to learn how to write the equations of sine and cosine functions. Okay, well, let's flip over to our final example on our notes. This time, I'm going to give you a bunch of the pieces of our graph, and you write the equation. Rather than my give you the equation and you find the pieces, I'll give you the pieces and you write the equation. Okay, we're writing the equation for a sine function. Okay, so let's maybe just put the standard form here. A sine of bx minus c plus d. Maybe that helps us. So we've got the sine, we've got the equation, so that's good. Let's start off simply, and we usually go in order, alphabetical order. We'll find the A, and then the B, and then the C, and then the D. Okay, so if we look in our problem, we're looking for the value of A. Well, they basically give us the value of A because the amplitude is 3, so that's just going to go right here. Okay, sure. So we can go ahead and put a 3 and then a sign. And then, well, I don't know if I need parentheses or not. I'm going to go ahead and put them. We need to figure out what B is. B is what affects our period. And we're given our period of pi over 2. So we know that our period, which is normally 2 pi, we have to take that and divide by b. And in that case, when we do that, whatever b is, our period will be pi over 2, because that's what it says that our period is, pi over 2. So 2 pi over b is going to equal 1 pi over 2. We need to use that idea to figure out what b is. Well, some people are going to solve this as they would a proportion, and they can say that b times pi is equal to 4 pi. And then they can just divide the pi away. And then they get b is equal to, well, that cancels that there as well. Looks like b is going to be 4. Okay, great. So now we know that we've got 4 times our variable. I'm going to continue to use an x. Some people might use a theta or an alpha. So I found A, I found B. Let's move on to C. C and B work together for our shift. And it says that our phase shift, that's another name for horizontal shift, is 3 units to the right. And that kind of gives it away that it was horizontal. So if 3 units to the right is what our shift is, and normally, well, always, C over B is what our shift is, C over B must be equal to 3. Now it's difficult to solve an equation that has 2 different variables, but it's good that we already have one of them. B is 4. So now if we plug this in, we've got C over 4 is equal to 3. And that's not too difficult to solve. We'll multiply by 4, and we've got C equals 12. Great, so now we have C. And since C is positive, I'm going to be putting minus 12. Close my parenthesis. Now we have to figure out what D is. And since it doesn't indicate anywhere in our problem that we have a shift up or down, D must be 0, so I'll leave that alone. This is an equation of a sine function that has an amplitude of 3, has a period of pi over 2, because we divide 2 pi by 4, and has a phase shift of 3 to the right because we take C, 12, divide by B to get 3. Now, some of you might be thinking, why do I have such a big gap right here? Well, it's because there's actually a second answer. If the amplitude is 3, that does not necessarily mean that A has to be a 3. Couldn't it also be a negative 3? I'm going to be fancy and put plus or minus and actually find both answers to write this sine equation. So we're going to get some more practice like that in class, but that shouldn't be too difficult to kind of put the puzzle together, given the pieces, and put the letters, the numbers where the letters are supposed to be. Thanks for watching this quick tutorial. We'll see you in class.